Hey you two, how's it going? Well, I'll tell you what, nice day today. It was still having these days where we get upper 70s and lower 80s for a daytime high, and the overnight low is the low 60s, upper 50s, right around in there. Not bad at all. Absolutely great. Loving it. And you know, it got me to thinking, because I was thinking about that and it just occurred to me, you know, this never gets old. This good weather just never gets old. It's too bad there is comparatively so little of it. Most of the year it's either too hot or too cold. But for a short period of time in the fall and another short period of time in the spring, you have weather that it just doesn't get old. It's warm in the daytime, it's cool at night, it's easy to sleep, and so on. You know, it feels good. You don't get all hot and sweaty. You're not cold all the way to the bone. You can't see your breath, and all kinds of things like that. It's just great. It never gets old. This never gets old. And it got me to thinking, you know, what other kind of things never get old? Now, largely, that's going to be a subjective thing. Everybody's going to have their own thing that never gets old, or series of things, you know. Like, for example, original series Star Trek. I know what a lot of people say about overacting and over-dramatization and terrible visual effects. Of course, people that complain about the visual effects, and I've even seen people complain about the CGI on the original Star Trek. There was no CGI on there. That was made in the 1960s. I don't think anybody used CGI back then. But, you know, it was a television series with a limited budget. They had to make do with what they could do with that budget. And anyway, but the point is, for me, it never gets old. Star Trek Next Generation? Yeah, for the most part, yeah. And then, of course, there's a whole run of movies and games and whatnot. And speaking of games, here's another thing that just never gets old.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage.
Now, what the key to that is that you have to have a little bit of imagination, and you just imagine the voice of Harrison Ford playing the part of Han Solo, and just before the stars go all white and you find yourself in the hyperspace conduit, you hear Han Solo's voice saying, "Punch it, Chewie." I'm sorry, that never gets old. It's goofy and lame and whatever, but I don't care. It just never gets old. Every time I do a hyperspace jump in Elite Dangerous, that's the thing that's running through my head. I'm hearing that in the back of my head every single time I do that. And it never gets old. It's very well done effect. They did a really good job with that, and it just never gets old. I could sit and do that all day. And in some ways I do. Well, not necessarily all day, but a few hours at a time. Most days. Yeah. So, I'm curious. What is it for you that never gets old? Everybody's got stuff that just, no matter what anybody else thinks of it, for them, it never gets old. They could sit and do it, watch it, eat it, read it, whatever, all day long, every day. And it wouldn't bother them a bit, even though it would drive everybody else nuts. Let's hear it. What is it for you that never gets old? Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.
is the TinFoilChef.